Mental health. We speak a lot about it in our business environment, and we should, because it is an important topic. If we take good care of it, well, it's a source of performance, but if we don't, then it can be a source of discomfort or even pain. For some professions, mental health is a key part of the success of their mission, so they take special care about it. How about flying a plane from an aircraft carrier? Well, we had a discussion with a Navy pilot. Let's watch the interview.
Nautique, 350 pieds, top balance miroir. 02 23, ok. 28. Soutien de lève le nez maintenant. Lève le nez, doucement.
I'm a French Navy fighter pilot. I've been in the Navy flying the Rafale for more than 10 years now. Roughly 1,500 hours on the aircraft and around 60 combat missions with 4 tours on the ship, on the Charles de Gaulle. For us, it's just a regular parameter that we're going to check before every briefing, every mission preparation, or even before every flight. Just as I'm going to check the weather or the readiness of my plane, we're going to check how's everybody, how I am, and how's my team, how is everybody, and that's how we can relate it to mental health. It's going to start at home, for example, just the way I'm going to sleep before a mission or anything, or when I'm on the ship, how do I sleep, how do I get along with everybody. These are the first step. This can be the first alarm of something's going wrong. You're not yourself, you're getting stressed at something or anything. And after that, it's just the way I'm going through my daily routine, the way I'm going to prepare before going to the jet. Every pilot has his own routine and is going to do his checks. He's going to dress up on his own way, in his own way, sorry. And when you are not yourself, when you're not at 100%, you're going to slowly and just slightly deviate from that routine. And for me, and for a lot of my colleagues, this is one way to realize that something's off today, maybe just a little bit, and getting back to that routine is one way to make sure that you can fix something. Sometimes it's not fixable. It's just not the good day, but it's one way to see it. Well, it's going to be the same, but to be able to check if somebody's going to deviate from his routine, you have to know him. So that's why we have small units between 10 to 15 pilots, and I can say that within my units, I know pretty much everyone enough to know that something was off when he was walking to the jet. He forgot something. He didn't do what he used to do before, and it helps you to know that these people are kind of off. And that being said, if they did not raise their hand when at the briefing, I ask, "Is everybody okay?" We have is that before every flight, we're going to ask everybody, and I'm part of everybody, how we are. Are we safe to go fly? Is anything going to get in the way, a small or a big thing? And we make it important that everybody is going to be able to raise their hand and say, "I had just had a bad night," or "I had a bigger problem." And when we do that, when we make sure that it's automatic, it goes on every day. Every day you're going to get asked, "How are you?" I think you raise your hand a little easier.
Okay. And how do you create trust? Because if somebody says, I'm not okay for the mission, so you may exclude that person from the mission. But how do you create trust that the person is still part of the team, that the person doesn't feel excluded?
We, in my opinion, we create trust by not automatically exclude that person from the mission. For example, if somebody is going to tell me that he had or she had a bad night, I'm just going to refer to the importance of the mission, to the risk level of the mission, and I'm just going to, as a leader, if I'm the leader of the day, I'm just going to think about is that problem going to be a problem for that mission of that importance? Sometimes the mission is not worth taking any risk. So you had a bad night, don't worry, I'm going to take somebody off and it's going to take your place. And sometimes the mission is going to be a little more important, or I'm going to need that person because she has special skills and I'm going to need that person. So just to come back on the question, you create trust by saying, okay, you're not at 100%, but I'm still going to take you, and we're just going to, as a team, watch over you for that mission. It was in my previous unit because we were used to ask the question every time. I just switched to a different unit where they're not used to that. And usually I get some weird looks like, why is he asking me all the time how I am? But it's just a process. And sometimes when they're not used to it, you say, how are you? And they say, okay. And at the end of the flight, they say, yeah, but I had a bad night yesterday. And you need to tell them at that point, yeah, that was the purpose of my question earlier. So you need to tell me, because I need to know as the leader, because I'm responsible for you as well. I need to know if you're not at 100%. Doesn't mean we're going to cancel the mission. I just need to know. And you need to know you told me so that I know that I can protect you, I can watch over you. So it's an exchange. And I'm trying to get them used to it by telling them when I'm not at 100%. There are some. So one of them was I was in a combat mission, and the weather was quite bad. We had to refuel because we need to fly between 6 and 7 hours over the theater, and we basically have to refuel every 1 hour and 30 minutes or so. And at that point, because of the weather, the refueling was getting almost impossible because the probe was moving too much behind the aircraft, and I wasn't able to get inside it and to get the fuel I needed to get back on the ship. And the thing is that when you're over hostile territory, if you don't refuel, there is no solution to get back home. So the stress was getting high, and most of the stress was coming from the fact that it was the first time I was confronted to that situation. And basically, how I didn't get rid of the stress this day, because sometimes you just can't get rid of it. But you can reassure yourself, knowing that first off, I wasn't alone. There was my wingman with me, and if I need to eject somewhere, I know that he's gonna stay with me and protect me until the hero's who's gonna come and get me. So basically, that team effort is reducing the stress. So the fact that we're within a team, it helps getting the stress in control. It's not unmanageable anymore. So that was one of it. And the other thing is that we are always, when we are planning a mission, we always have what we call what if something goes wrong. So we always have something we always have an emergency plan, a backup plan. And that helps a lot. And this day I had my team and I had an emergency backup, which was an auxiliary airfield in the north of the theater. Wasn't the perfect place to land, but at least I had some solutions. And it's really rare when we don't have any solutions. We always try to have one solution in the in the pocket. That is what we call the battle rhythm. and I'm not the one managing it. These are my managers, and this is really important stuff. Sometimes we need to do what we call a surge and maybe fly every day on a combat mission. This cannot last. If you make it last, you will lose everybody. So this is just about a rhythm to make sure that some people are not getting too much stress, are not getting too much worked out, and make sure that they have just one day is enough. Just one day being off, doing something else. This is important as well. Just to do something else, to talk about something else or anything. You can still fly, but not on the combat mission. Just do a simple one, a simple mission, a simple flight. And this should be enough just to break that rhythm of being at 100% every day, just taking one day not fully off, but just maybe at 40% doing a simple mission, something that's going to show you that this job is not always about being at 100%. It's gonna be mainly it's gonna be to stay a little bit away from the work. When you are preparing a combat mission, flying it and debriefing it, it's gonna take you 12 hours getting stuck on that subject, on that mission. So a day off for me is to get away from the preparation room, not to stay a whole day in it. Having a good night of sleep, not having to set the alarm at 4, and just having my own rhythm. Going maybe to do a little sport, having time to go early at the dinner, and having time to have a drink with the friends before, not to be always in a rush. That's a day off for me on the ship. We have what we call contract responsibilities. The basic flight can be the basic mission can be with 2 ships, but it can also be with 4 ships or maybe more. And one of the most important step of the briefing is when we set the task and the responsibilities. And most of the time, these tasks, these contracts, they're gonna cross between the people in the flight, in the patrol. We're going to cross-check what's the other guy doing, as he's going to cross-check what I just did. So it's going to be like this a lot, and also people are going to be there as backups. You're going to hear a lot of time during the brief the leader say, at this point I am going to say that, and it's going to mean that, and I want you to remind me if I forget it. Knowing that somebody, even if it's the young one, the number 4, and it's the only thing he has to do, as a leader, it is cool to know that if you forget it, because you trust that number 4, that young guy, he's going to be the one to say, hey, don't forget that, because that was his only task. Maybe he's only one, but at least you know he's going to do it. So that helps to make the stress a little less for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And I heard you speak several times about debriefing. What's the role of debriefing in a mission? It seems to be important.
Yeah, it is really important because before going on a mission, we're going to spend maybe hours, up to 4 or 5 hours, just brainstorming and preparing to, at the end, present what we call a game plan, a plan of action. Then we're going in flight, and then we're going back to debrief. At the debriefing, the biggest question at the end of the debriefing is, was the game plan, did we do the game plan that we came up at the end of the brainstorm? Because if you don't do what you spend 4 hours putting on paper, there is no point in debriefing. So and that brainstorm was useless. So that's the main focus, and the thing is to be able to say, okay, we did what we said we did. It wasn't a good game plan, but at least we know it now. So the debriefing is really important for that. And in the debriefing, we will also review all the safety points and everything. And after that, once we're done, we're going to come up with what we call lessons learned, because the mission is never perfect. There are always some stuff that we can... it seems obvious what I'm going to say, but yeah, it's never 100%. As a 4-ship lead, So 4 people in the flight during a 2-hour mission. Not everybody is at 100% during 2 hours, so there are always some little mistakes, some stuff, some things. And basically, we're going to say, is the task achieved? Why did we respect the game plan that we came up with? And why was it a good or a bad idea? And basically what we try to come back with is lessons learned. So if someday we come up with the same mission, maybe we're going to do the same game plan, or maybe we're going to alter it or do a different one. I'm just going to talk about myself and the job I had last year. The things I was able to do, and this came because that was something I felt during my younger years. That was something I was missing. The thing I was missing, we were missing, is just some notice about what's going to be my schedule for the next week, maybe the next month, and maybe the next year. We basically know it, but as we were talking about the battle rhythm, we need to have that same philosophy, that same idea of what's going to be my rhythm for maybe just the next week. So basically, the last year I was in charge of the planning the missions, planning who's going to be there, who's going to go away, and everything. And what we did with my team was to make sure that we tried to make sure that the schedule of everybody was easily reachable, and was easily readable as well, so that they knew that next week on Thursday I'm just going to need a whole day because I'm going to be on a difficult mission, and I'm going to need to focus. So it's going to be easy, but I'm going to need some help maybe on the side for my kids or anything. And on the contrary, I know that next week on Tuesday I have an easy day, so maybe I'm going to tell my family that I'm going to be home sooner, and I'm going to take some family points on the side for the Thursday where I'm going to be off maybe from 7 to 23. So giving that possibility of knowing what we're going to do and what's going to be the rhythm for the next week was a big improvement, I think, for our team. I have a couple. The most recent was a flight with the sun setting down. It's going to be a lot of poetry, but basically it was a flight in Scotland, just raging through the lochs and all the way up to the north of England with the sun setting down. And because we were in the north in the winter, the sun was never really going away. This was a really nice flight. Yeah.
So yes, indeed, mental health is also about the good memories from the job. It's about having the feeling we are doing right and useful things. It's about doing these things in the right way, in a professional way. And then it's about the relations with our colleagues, our teamwork. So Arthur, thanks a lot for sharing. And to our audience, thanks very much for being with us.